It's not been the greatest few seasons in La Liga for Barcelona, so here's how I think they're going to line up next campaign with all of their brand new signings. First up, and in goal, we have Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Now, he is actually pretty well rested considering the fact he was injured, so missed out on Germany's Euro 2020 campaign. Those extra few weeks off mean he'll be fit and raring to go into the new season, and it looks like without Neto at the club as a backup, because he may be moving on, the only other player who will be threatening his position will be youngster Iñaki Peña, who could be brought up into the first team. Not really going to take his place, so ter Stegen will start in between the sticks. Next up then, I'm moving into the back four, and we'll go with the right-hand side of the defence to start off with, and it's going to be Serginho Dest. And honestly, I didn't think he had a scintillating first season at the new camp, but I didn't know what else to expect from a young defender. Like, he has big boots to fill if we're talking Dani Alves levels of contributions to Barcelona. He had a good first season, and I honestly think he'll build on it. He seems to be one of these players who, the more experience he gets, the more game time he gets, the more used to how they play he gets, he'll just grow into a better player, and it will serve Barcelona better in the long run to continue playing him now, even if there are one or two faults in his game. If it's not going to be him, it could be Sergio Roberto at right back, but I think they're going to stick with Dest, who is a natural in that position. Moving into the centre-back position though, and this has definitely been a problem area for Barcelona in the last few seasons, and they've kind of split off into two different avenues. You've got the players like Longley and Umtiti, who are experienced, who are used to playing in the first team, but who are also up for sale because they could raise a bit of money. Then you've got the likes of Ronald Araujo and Mingueza, who had very, very good first seasons in the first team, but may not have the experience just yet of being able to play week in, week out at the highest level. So what Barcelona have done is they've brought in Eric Garcia. By Pep Guardiola's standards, he even called him a fantastic player and wanted to keep him at Manchester City, but the defender was homesick and returned home to Barcelona. Playing him with all of his potential alongside Gerard Piqué, and I know there are many people who probably aren't the biggest fan of Piqué and think he's past his best, which he may be, but his experience and know-how in the team, alongside the young legs of Eric Garcia, could actually bear a very fruitful partnership for Barcelona. I've no doubt that the others I've mentioned, like Mingueza and Araujo, will have a big part to play in the season, but if we're talking strongest 11 for Barca at centre-back, I'm going to go with Garcia and Piqué. Moving into the left-back position, and despite the fact they've brought Emerson back to the club, it's still going to be Jordi Alba. He's such a brilliant player for them, and despite the fact he's entering his early 30s, he had a fantastically good season last year, bombing on from left back like we've normally seen, and the only real threat his position is going to come under from is Jose Gaya, who is currently the captain at Valencia. He seems to be like Jordi Alba regenerated, just a few years younger, but I don't think the Valencians are willing to sell him just yet, so they're going to stick with Jordi Alba for now. Moving into the midfield, and actually, much like at centre-back, this is such a difficult decision to make, because Barcelona have got good players who are inexperienced, and then good players who they could actually get a bit of money for if they sell them, or who just aren't really fitting into the team. And that is making it very difficult for Barcelona in the transfer market, because they can't bring anyone in without letting anyone go first. The obvious one in the first central defensive midfield position in this 4-3-3, as I think they'll play, will be Sergio Busquets. Again, much like with Gerard Piqué, yes, Busquets' best years maybe past him, and he is getting, I think he's 33 now. He's still a quality player, and his game has never really relied on outrageous pace or physicality, so his control of the ball and his style of play isn't going to change much. And again, he'll be so good as Barcelona start blooding through youngsters in different positions with the mentality he's got, with the experience that he's got, and he's been there, done it, seen it all, and he'll be a great help to the team both on and off the pitch. And I think in that role, he's going to certainly start the season there, but we could see how things develop throughout the rest of the year. Now, the other two central midfield positions are actually taken, and I think it's rather obvious who's in them. It's going to be Frenkie de Jong in one of them and Pedri in the other. Both of them had brilliant seasons last year, and in fact, Pedri's first season at Barcelona, after joining for just £5 million as a youngster, has ended brilliantly. He made it into the Spain squad, played almost every minute of the Euro 2020 campaign. Then he went to the Olympics, and now he's going to come back to Barcelona and do it all over again. He is such a fantastic player, and one to look out for not only this season, but for the next however many years as well. If he stays at Barcelona, I've no doubt he'll grow into this new Iniesta role that Andres Iniesta did so well for so many years. I honestly think Pedri could be that good. Alongside him, Frenkie de Jong's brilliant. We know it. There pretty much isn't a role in central midfield he cannot play. From the deep line playmaker like Sergio Busquets, to the box-to-box midfielder that he's doing, even to a slightly more attacking midfielder, threading through the final balls and maybe getting a goal or two. He went through a period this season where he's actually finding the net on a quite frequent basis. Those two are going to play, we know that. But they've also got good youngsters coming through. There's Ricky Puig and Ilaix Moriba, who currently at the moment is discussing a new deal with Barcelona. On the flip side, you got Miralem Pjanic, and that swap deal for Arthur could not have gone worse for Pjanic. He came into the club, barely played, and now it looks like they're willing to shift him on already. I don't quite see how he's going to get into the team, and of course we've got Sergio Roberto as well, either right back or central midfield, providing a very good squad option too. And this is all without mentioning Philippe Coutinho as well. Like, he may be playing a bit further forward or on the left wing, but even so, he's back at Barcelona, he's still there, still costing them a load per week, and apparently if they play him anymore, they might have to pay Liverpool in some sort of fee that was originally in the transfer fee that they paid for him a few years ago. I think it's like another 17 million if they play him in a couple more La Liga games. It's something pretty crazy, and definitely if they're looking to get players off the books, Coutinho should be one of them. As for the central midfield though, like I mentioned, Sergio Busquets in the deep line role, get Pedri and De Jong further forward. Next up though, and to the right wing position, 47 games last year, 14 assists, 38 goals, of course it's Lionel Messi. And of course, when I say right wing, I pretty much mean Messi's going to be on the pitch and he's going to do a lot of damage. Now, as of yet, recorded this video, he has not officially signed a deal with Barcelona and they haven't been able to register him because of all these different financial difficulties. Having said that, I have no doubt that Barcelona will somehow find a way to get Messi registered and get him into the team because he is so crucial to how they play. So with the way the attacking lineup goes, it's honestly, I'm quite glad at this point that I'm not the Barcelona manager because it's so difficult to figure out who's going to play where. I say Messi's going to be on the right wing, but you know he's going to drift inside, pick up little pockets of space and really dictate the play from wherever he is on the pitch. So much so that I thought with the other attacking options, maybe he'll play in a number 10 role. Barcelona will play a narrow diamond to go with two up front, but they're seeing that they've got the likes of Ousmane Dembele, there's Ansu Fati, and of course they've just signed Memphis Depay. I'm not so sure that's going to happen. So Messi on the right wing, but we all know he's coming inside and floating about and just sort of making stuff happen wherever he is. So with him cutting inside on the right wing, it probably makes sense to balance things out and have someone cutting in on his right foot from the left wing, and that is brand new signing on a free transfer, Memphis Depay. He is one of the most exciting transfers for me this summer. I cannot wait to see him in a Barcelona shirt. He's got all the brilliant technique that you'd expect of a Dutch player. He's very aggressive on the front line. And I just think he's such a good fit for Barca. I'm really excited to see him play. I know he played a little bit more centrally for Lyon, but as we'll discuss in a minute, Barcelona got quite a few options through the centre, so I can see him playing outside on the left. Of course, what does this mean for Ansu Fati's game time once he returns from injury? We're not quite sure. The same thing goes for Ousmane Dembele. The same thing for Trincao, actually, who they signed and didn't quite work out as of yet. All of these players basically have to fight Memphis Depay for the left wing slot, because none of them are going to fight Messi on the right-hand side. So you've got all of these great attacking players, and Coutinho, like I mentioned before, who are all, I think, at the moment, going to have to get the shirt off Depay. Of course, I'd love to see the likes of Ansu Fati play more and develop that insane talent that he's got too. And I think if Barcelona go far in most competitions, there will be ample game time for most players. So with Messi and Depay on either side, we come to the front two, and unfortunately, as many of you in the comments always talk about, Martin Braithwaite, the absolute GOAT, will probably not be starting in this Barcelona side. It comes down to two players. Antoine Griezmann, who I think is criminally underrated and has had a pretty good season at Barcelona. Not the worst by any means. Does look like they might want to get him off the wage bill and get some money in for him if they can sell him, but he's a quality player up front. But they've also signed Sergio Aguero on a free transfer. 32, 33 years old. They've paid a lot of money per week to bring him in. We all know how close he is with Lionel Messi. I can't see Aguero agreeing to this deal if he's going to sit on the bench. Which then means if he starts up front, which is who I'm picking to start up front, what does that mean for Griezmann? Like I mentioned before, if Barcelona sacrificed the wingers, had Messi at number 10 behind Griezmann and Aguero, you could fit them into the team. I just can't see Ronald Koeman doing that. I think he's going to go with a 4-3-3 and he's going to have a very tough decision. Putting Griezmann out wide isn't the greatest idea either, and like I mentioned before, they've got players out there. So I think Sergio Aguero is going to start when he's fit, but you'll probably see a lot of Griezmann as well off the bench. I mean, it's a very good decision to have when you've got two quality strikers. It's just also a very difficult one to make. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments how you see this Barcelona team faring this season in La Liga and the Copa del Rey and the Champions League as well. Let me know in the comments. Check out everything else we've got going on. And until next time, I will see you guys later.